Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here to make some paper beads. Yes, you heard that right. I haven't made paper beads in a hot minute. I am going to show you what I have made since I moved here, and I made these a while back. And what I'm going to do in this video is just do something, not to be pretty, but just to get back into the swing of things, to test the angles for the camera, the lighting, all that stuff. And I might have a few videos like that until I, get the hang of it. But I just wanted to show you, these were just, practice beads, just to give me something to do, maybe like a year and a half ago. They are Mod Podged. And these are beads that I colored on just regular copy paper, printer paper. And they're just barrel beads. And I will be showing you how to do that without it being a whole lot of work. You only color the tips of the paper. And because that's the last wrap, all you need is maybe like 1.5 inches of colored paper. Then you cut your strips. They're very easy to make. Barrel beads are the easiest ones to cut because you're not tapering them. It's just cut strips. And I will be showing you how to do those. I do have videos, from once upon a time that I made all kinds of beads. I got to get used to the camera here and all that. Okay, there's one more of those. These were just decorative, like scrapbook paper, and I have one more of these guys, and again they're just barrel beads, and I like them. They're kind of long, but you can make all kinds of beads. And if you have kids and they're too young to make beads, go ahead and make a whole bunch of beads. They will love them. Doesn't matter if they're big or small or crooked or not rolled perfectly. And this is like a little scrap. I like to roll my scraps too because, I'm a scrappy kind of girl and I like that. Here's another scrap from the same batch. Now, you'll notice this one doesn't have white. This one has white, and these don't. It's because I like to either paint or take the marker and hit the edges. So, oh look, see, it matches that and that end. To me, it just looks more like a bead than, when you see the white on the inside. And these are cut from a strip that I doodled. So that was my doodling, and then I rolled the beads. I've done doodling beads before, but I really like these. Is there any more of this? I don't think so. And again, I'll be showing you how to do things like that again. I must have a paper bead playlist. I don't know. If I do, I'll link in the description below. And then I have, seems like just 2 of these. Again, that's just something, I think that might have been marker. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's going to take me a bit to get used to all this. This is just one lonely guy. I don't see any others like this. I don't know. But, once I start making paper beads, when I see paper, I'm going to roll it. These were absolutely markers, I'm going to say, and I have quite a bit of them. These are the typical tapered beads, and again, I must have made lines on the paper with markers, and then rolled that up, and they are Mod Podged, and I have a whole bunch of those. Whoops, let's just push those aside. And these are just, beads that I have, and then at some point, and when I have a lot of practice beads, I can just put them on eBay. I've done that before. And I have just one lonely one like this. And again, nothing special here. And it goes there. And then I have these little guys. Oh, look, I have one that's like almost all white. Now, this must have been cut from a paper that had different shades of blue and white, and you get a variety when it's tapered like that. So that's what those look like. I love the ones that have the blue. And I'm just going to show you, you know, different ways to cut paper to get the parts that you like, and you know, just all kinds of stuff like that. Just give me a chance to get going. And again, these must have been scraps, and they're little. And I look at that. Let me, okay, this is a little tiny barrel bead, but let me put this guy on the skewer so you can see how adorable he is. See if I can get it to focus. Look how cute. Just a little tiny bead. Now, I am going to make a couple of beads for you. I practiced a little bit just to show you how you can just practice on weird scrap paper. Let me put these others away. This was at the register at Dollar Tree. Took a couple, like maybe 6 or 7 or 8, because you know, we thought it was going to be a free ticket, Batesville, for the circus. I thought it was, you know, that was pretty generous. So yeah, we found out admit 1 free child between the ages of 3 and 12 with a paid adult. So that's not something we can use, but I thought, well, since we have them, why don't I recycle them and make some paper beads? They're very wide, so what I thought is, and not really long, and I like kind of long because I want enough to roll to make the bead nice and sturdy. So what I did is I glued 2 together, and I'll show you. Yeah, I wish I had a better background. I will have something at some point, but for right now I'm using an old Priority Mail thingy. And I just put a little bit of glue like that, and then I put a little bit of glue. I just kind of like spread it around a little bit. And so when I cut, I'll be able to cut the whole strip in half. And that really didn't take long to dry the first time, but I want to cut right away, so I will show you that I have one already done and dry. And I can't really show you, let me just show you the paper cutter that I'll be using. And you don't need anything fancy like this. It's just you know, an actual paper cutter with the big handle like that and whatever. And I can't really get that on camera. You can also use a paper trimmer if it fits. And if it doesn't, as long as it's dried good, you can fold it and then cut. You're going to cut in half lengthwise. So that's what I'm going to do right now on my paper cutter. And I took that priority envelope out of the way. I just used it for the glue part. Now, most of you who have done beading, paper beads, you know that, you know, it's a really popular way to just have long triangles. And I am going to make this triangular, but only on one end. I like the triangle beads to kind of start as a barrel bead. It just gives a better edge and it makes a stronger base. So all I really need to do is taper this. Now I'm going to say 2 things. Hey, let's do it both ways. If we just made a barrel bead, right, all of this is going to get rolled up and none of this matters. We're not going to see any of this stuff. All we're going to see is the very end. And it's going to show like what is stuck at the end there. And it might not be a really cool bead. What you could do is cut it like to here, so the last roll will have some of this going on. But for the heck of it, let's just roll it. And I'll show you how I roll. I use a skewer, just one of these skewers that you can get at any grocery store. And I just start by curling it a little bit. I always have my glue available, just any white glue. This is just the Dollar Tree. Where is it? The Dollar Tree glue. There we go. There we go. And when I roll paper beads, especially on glossy paper like this, I like to start rolling, and then I like to add some glue all the way down, at least, you know, part way until I get to the other part. And I just spread it around, and that just helps it to be a little bit more tacky. You can even blow on that, and it stops the glossy paper from rolling around. I don't know where to be. I guess I have to be here. Please put up with me. It's been a while. Now it is, you know, it does slide too when you use the glue, but you just don't worry, don't stress out over it. And when it's slippery, you can, you know, take it off and slip it back into shape. So now when I'm getting to the end, I'm going to put a little bit more glue. I'm going to make sure I have glue on the very tip here. And let's just finish it off. Now see, that would be kind of pretty right there if we cut there. But I'm just going to show you. See, you are in control. But let's just go to the ugly end of the paper. Sometimes it's not all that ugly. And then you take it off and you can push it a little bit. Now this wasn't a perfectly straight cut. So, you know, the ends can look like they're stuck out a little bit. And, you know, all of that is okay, especially if you're just making a bunch of beads for your kids to have fun. And this is what it looks like. Now, you can tell if we would have stopped earlier, we would have had a better print. Is there a way I can unroll this a little bit? Is it going to be that stuck already? Okay, let's unroll a little. Oh, yeah, see, it's peeling it right off. So, I fucked that one up. But I just wanted to show you that you are in control as to where the print starts and stops. And this one is going in the trash. Okay? So I wanted to compare, but now that's at the bottom of the trash, and I'm not going to look for it. So this one, I'm going to taper it. So I'm just going to start like here where I glued them together, and I'm just going to aim toward the top. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Now you see this? That's going to be a scrap bead. And now I'm going to make a point, you know, and go back down to like that part where it's glued. So now we have this that starts out like that, but then look how it goes up to a point. And we put these other little scrap pieces. So now we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to start curling it a little bit. And I'm going to roll and roll and roll. And what the tapered part does, I'm going to add some glue. The tapered part allows you to see more of the paper, more of the design. So it gives you more colors. So you won't just see like words or things like that. So that's pretty. I like that part. So I'm going to keep rolling. See, words. Now you see that. But when we start, you know, getting to the tapered part, it starts to look cooler. I'm just going to keep going, and I need some more glue. And you'll notice my tapered part is not perfect. And see, there's like word there, but oh, I need a little bit more glue. When this goes around, it's going to like cover the words, and you just see partial things. Well, I do have a big E there, right there. I mean, I would not generally be using this paper for paper beads, but you can see that there's more variety. I'm trying to get it to focus. And it's really that easy. And, you know, it's fun to just get kids to practice with this kind of paper and let them be creative. And, yeah, it's just fun. So here's two others that I had made that were like this. And even though they look different, they're all from the same paper, so they work well together. Now, let's do the little scraps. I don't trim it any more than this. I'm happy with that. The one thing, like, see, the little corners are sticking out. The one thing I like to do is if I have a triangle that's, starts right from there and goes down as a triangle, I will just trim and make a straight edge at the very beginning. So it won't make those little corners. Let me show you now what I mean. See, the little corners went away, and I like that. Let me get some glue all the way down. Need more glue all the way down. And there it is, just a little tiny bead. I've actually rolled beads on toothpicks before. I really did. They were like seed beads. And I put my beads on this foam, floral foam thing. I didn't even unwrap it. I stick toothpicks in there. Yeah, they'll stick to the toothpicks a little bit. Did you even see where I put that? Okay, right there. And, but I'm good with that. And let's make the other one too. So again, I'm just going to trim so that I won't have little corners sticking out. And you'll notice it gets a little bit wider here. It's like narrow and then wider, and that's okay. I just don't want corners sticking out. I don't care what happens after that. So I'm going to roll a little bit. I'm going to add my glue. I'm going to be a little bit more generous. Maybe I only have to pick that bottle up once this time. Yeah, look at that. That was very generous. I promise there will be really cool beads on the way. And then I have very gluey fingers. And with this glossy paper, the little tip sometimes wants to pop up. You gotta kind of like train it. So there are the two wet ones that I just did. Where are you? And then here are some others that I did with the scraps of the other ones that I rolled. So is there a good way to show you? I don't think so. So that's just like the basics of paper beads, but you can do such cool things. And let me get the glue off my fingers, or try to. And then what I would do after that is I would get a paintbrush. Oh, and I have one. And thick enough so that the bead stops. And then I would take my Mod Podge. This is the Mod Podge that I have this way. Dollar Tree Mod Podge. That's all you need to start. And I get the gloss one. Mine has the matte finish also. And it's a good way to, just get a little bit of Mod Podge before you invest in the gigantic barrel of Mod Podge, which is what I will be using at some point. And then I'll just dip a paintbrush. Oh, I actually would need another paintbrush. But I like it that it's tapered here because it stops the bead. Then you take another paintbrush and you just Mod Podge the whole thing. And then again, you slide it off and you put it on a toothpick. And usually what I do is to slide it off, I'll just push it a little bit like that with my finger, and then I'll just put it on a toothpick and let it drop. And yeah, it might stick a little bit. You could put some Vaseline or something around the bottom of the toothpicks, I guess. I don't know. I don't have trouble. When they dry, you just twist a little bit and they pop off. All right, so here's the plan moving forward. I think that if I make some cool beads, that I would like to show them as I'm making them and then upload the video. Let me play with something while I'm talking to you. And then the next video, I could show you the beads that I made, you know, maybe make the rest or whatever, and Mod Podge them, let them dry, take a good picture of them. And so you would have the final reveal in the next video. Because if I make beads like this and then Mod Podge them and wait for that to dry, when I record, I need to get the video up, or I get bored with it and I might not even finish, and that's what has stopped me making paper beads. And I thought, no, you know what, I can just show some beads and then in the next video show these are the beads that I made in the previous video, and that's actually good for me because I can show the beads in the previous video and have people go see that video. They might be more tempted if they see that they like the beads. So start saving paper. Save some glossy, save some regular newspaper, any kind of junk mail. You can literally use just, you know, a typed letter, or that you get, you know, in the mail that you're just going to throw away, just to practice. And, you know, even if it's small things, it's okay. You saw how I made a long strip out of this. Calendars, did I say that already? I have some really cool pictures in calendars that I'll be using. You're just going to start looking at paper in a whole new way. And don't forget, we are going to be designing our own also. I might do that for the very next video because I absolutely love, you know, doodling or just making lines. You don't have to be fancy. You can just make stripes, and I'll show you how cool all of this stuff can look. I'm going to be doing very basic, simple beads at the beginning, and then we will jump up to some more complicated beads. All right, I hope this was okay. I just wanted to get started. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.